Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the fight battle, the strongest in the universe. So this is a story event that has just been added to DBZ Dokkan Battle Global and JP as a part of the worldwide celebration campaign. Now obviously we already had a Cooler event, but it seems they felt we needed another one, and this obviously recaps moments from the Cooler movie in kind of preparation and obviously celebration of the two feature characters for the worldwide celebration, being Super Saiyan Goku and Cooler. Now of course there is a free summonable unit or free to farm unit in the form of Gohan. This also means the Parent and Bond category has arrived to DBZ Dokkan Battle Global ahead of its first time release with the actual unit that will come later on. Now overall, Gohan and Goku actually look kind of decent. Very interesting unit, and they will have an easy A. So both them and Cooler will have an easy A. Cooler will also be having an easy A. Now Cooler you actually pick up from another event, but I will recap that. And there is a bonus for the units that you use here. There is a bonus for the powerful comeback category. There are also missions. The missions are very straightforward, basically clearing each stage on Z hard, getting the Gohan's SA to 10, and then Dokkan Awakening both of the units, which isn't that crazy a requirement. So far, looking pretty solid. I think the event itself looks pretty decent. Obviously you get in total 8 stones for the stages, and then you get a stone for the mission, so 9 stones in total. Nothing too crazy. It's not like it's blowing people's minds or anything like that, but generally speaking, obviously pretty good value. Now there's not a lot of powerful comeback free to play options. As you could see there was only 4, which isn't the greatest, but there are some decent summonable ones as well, so you can obviously rely on those. So generally speaking, a pretty good kind of situation. Powerful comeback is a category that has a decent amount of LRs, so you shouldn't really struggle too much in getting everything ready. Obviously, as another disclaimer, rarity is a big factor when it comes to these bonuses. So you really want to make sure that you have higher rarity units. If you have an LR over a TUR, you're going to have an increased bonus chance. And if you have a TUR over a SSR, you're also going to have an increased bonus chance. So try and make sure that you obviously have the highest rarity possible. These events can be quite frustrating when you have to continually farm them because you're not getting the drops. So increasing your bonus chance is definitely the best way to go about it. I see a lot of people complain about the RNG that they are getting. Generally this is the first place to look, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to recap that. But obviously this is a powerful comeback category, and so yeah, pretty straightforward stuff if you need to know. So yeah, obviously you can also increase your team bonus chance by using items or support memories, I should say. You can use Oolong, or you can use the Bulla and Vegeta GT one. Bulla and Vegeta increases your chance a bit more, but it is obviously more expensive, being 120 film comparatively to the 70 film that Oolong is. Other than that, the stages are pretty straightforward. Most of them are single phase fights. Story events are not remotely difficult events, and traditionally are not huge, hyper difficult events that take a lot of your time. They're kind of meant to be just farmed casually in the background. So generally speaking, you shouldn't have a major issue with this event. Your notable stages are going to be stage 2, where you farm the Gohan. That's going to be where you want to use your boosts, or where you want to use your Oolongs, or your Vegeta and Bullas. And also going to obviously be stage 3, where you farm the Dokkan Awakening medals. So that's where you're going to be able to farm the Dokkan Awakening medals for Cooler and for Gohan. So you get both their Dokkan Awakening medals from stage 3. Now of course these units are going to ECA, so just a full disclaimer, you are going to want to farm 5 extra copies of Gohan. So you're going to want to farm 14 copies of Gohan in total. because you will be getting one copy. You want to farm 19 copies of Gohan in total, but you do get one copy from the missions. And the same with Cooler. You want to farm 19 copies of Cooler, but you do get one from the missions. And the reason being is you need a second copy, because when they're easy A, you want to raise the SA from 10 to 15. And to do so, you need a second copy at SA 5. I will be re-explaining that later on, but for now, just keep it in your mind that basically you need to farm 18 copies. You will receive your 19th copy from the missions. And same with the Dokkan Awakening medals, you want to farm double the Dokkan Awakening medals, so you want to farm not just the 7 for the initial copy, you want to farm 7 for the second copy. So you need 14 Dokkan Awakening medals in total. And yeah, that is pretty much everything you need to know about farming the event.
Let's do this.
In terms of the event itself, there's nothing else noticeable or notable for you to farm. There's not training locations or anything super interesting, no support items or anything. I was hoping, or maybe they will with part 2, that they'll give you a way to farm Icarus or something like that. Generally speaking, a useful support item, especially for players taking on Super Battle Road and some of the earlier hard content. It does really help when you can farm some of these decent support items. So yeah, generally speaking, you can struggle a little bit, but for the most part, I would say, I would definitely say there's nothing else really to farm here. I think it's pretty straightforward. Just farm the units, farm the medals for the units, and yeah, that's kind of everything you need, unfortunately. With that being said, I think for the most part, the event is pretty straightforward. I think most story events are nowadays more efficient than inefficient. Like back in the day, you used to have very big events with multiple stages, and a lot of those would be stages that would just drop nothing, or stages that just didn't drop anything really. Like they would drop, TUR Awakening medals and things like that. So these more concise events that ideally just have exactly what you need to farm, the units you need to farm, the medals you need to farm. Although they look smaller, I find them to be a lot more efficient in general. What could be interesting is in part 2, very similar to how some of the stages expand, like the Majin Buu Saga one, and we got Oob in part 2. I'd be very cool or interested to see us get like a Piccolo or something. I think a Piccolo would be a pretty nice addition. Just overall, I think we really lack for Piccolos in the game. It's been a while since we got a decent one, and I think getting Piccolo would be pretty cool, especially since he does have a decent role in the movie. He fights off Cooler's gang, basically. So yeah, I think having Piccolo would be a pretty cool kind of pickup, at least for me. Obviously this final phase is 2 phases, or this final stage is 2 phases, but yeah. Now of course you don't need to take on the stages on the first difficulty. You can take them on the second difficulty immediately, and you will receive the stones for both. However, if you are struggling, don't feel ashamed to take things on the lower difficulty at first. It's not like a huge issue, if you don't have the ability to take on the stage. Just rather do the lower difficulty, farm your materials, and let yourself grow from there. Now obviously Cooler, the TEQ Cooler, he doesn't actually drop from this event. He actually drops from another event. So he drops from the Strongest Rivals event, and this is the old Cooler movie event, and you will find that here under the story events tab, and you can find it. It's pretty straightforward. I did mention it in my LR ticket video, but you farm Cooler from here. So you get his 5 medals from here, and you need those to obviously push him and Dokkan Awaken him. So that's where you get Cooler from. So you won't find him in the current event, but he's obviously linked that way. And yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know. I just did a little skip through time, obviously to the point where I finished all of the Dokkan Awakening missions, etc. And I farmed everything I need, just so you can see, what you need. So obviously I've got Cooler and Goku rainbowed, Goku Gohan, go crit build. At least that's what I'm doing. We'll never know. We'll see, I guess. And yeah, I've got the second copies at SA5. So that's pretty much everything you need. And if you follow that and you follow the video, you should be prepped and ready for part 2. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.